We have some major breaking news, very important news for IHIP News. When the Trump regime started attacking the First Amendment, of course, that's sad in a big sense, but in a tiny sense, it made me most sad that I wouldn't be able to publicly shame and berate and browbeat the unfuckable, unlikable piece of shit senator from Texas, Ted Cruz. That was the part where I was like, I can't focus on the big part of it. I just want to narrow it down because I'm going to miss publicly shaming that asshole. Well, you guys aren't going to believe this. Kanks has lost Ted.
What?
Ted is speaking out. Ted Cruz slams FCC chair Carr for threatening the media. What he said there is dangerous as hell. That's right, out of mafioso. It might feel good right now to threaten Kimmel, but when it's used to silence conservatives in America, we will regret it. Even assholes have moments of clarity. Even unfuckable, unlikable pieces of shit like Ted Cruz are capable of moments of clarity. And as we fight these insufferable titty baby fascists, welcome, Ted. Welcome to the resistance. And it gets worse. Okay. So he cannot just say this and not be a prick. He can't just say this and not embarrass himself. He can't just say this and not make a huge ass of himself. So I'm going to play this audio clip from this interview. And at the end, he does some acting in it. So you don't want to get out of this video. Just buckle up, buttercups. All right, Seth, play the audio.
So the Federal Communication Commission is in charge of granting broadcast licenses. So ABC, NBC, CBS, they have licenses from the FCC. It is true that under statute, they're required to be in the public interest.
Yep.
What he is saying is Jimmy Kimmel was lying. That's true. He was lying.
No.
And his lying to the American people is not in the public interest. And so he threatens explicitly, we're going to cancel ABC's license. We're going to take him off the air. So ABC cannot broadcast anymore. And I got to say, he threatens it. He says, we can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way.
Yeah.
And I got to say, that's right out of Goodfellas. That's right out of a mafioso coming into a bar going, nice bar you have here. It'd be a shame if something happened to it. And
what an insufferable douchebag. What a grandstander.
Yes.
I mean, first of all, if you can't nail the accent, Ted, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Secondly, Jimmy Kimmel didn't lie. The person that lies all the time is the guy who says that your dad shot JFK. That's the liar. And then the lies just trickle down from there. But I'll tell you, I'm just shocked to shit.
I am
Lyin
too.
Ted. I am shocked to shit.
Okay, here's the only reason I'm not shocked 100%, because everyone universally says he doesn't give a shit about being in the Senate. He gives a shit about his podcast. So if we can imagine a world without Trump, that there would be a Democratic leader again, he's afraid it'll be turnabout's fair play. So I don't think it's anything but self-interest.
Okay. All right. Moving along. I just want to remind everybody, Brendan Carr, that's who we're talking about. Do y'all remember, like, right after Trump 2.0, when he was inaugurated, there were some like unknown dipshits, sycophants surrounding him that instead of showing up with their American flag lapel, showed up with the Trump bus?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Molly Plufkin has reminded us of who this was. And it was none other than FCC Chair Brendan Carr. And this was back, in the first days of Trump. He sports a gold Trump head lapel pin. Members of Trump's cabinet, along with Congress people and senators, are being instructed to wear a tribute to their inglorious convicted felon leader. And then Meacham retweets this. And he says, please remind us how this isn't in any way a cult. We're all ears. So this guy, he's the guy who has this whole Twitter record of defending the First Amendment, even saying, I agree with Joe Biden on this. And he has moral clarity. What happens in between that. It was like 2019, the tweet, or no. I think it was 2022 was the tweet. And then what happens that then you're wearing that pin? That's like us sitting here talking about this. In like 2 years, we have like Don Jr. pins on our shirts. You know what I mean? Like what happens?
I can't even imagine how that could happen.
I cannot like me having a
imagine.
Ted Cruz pin on my shirt.
That
Do you know what I mean? Like that's what these people have done. It's unbelievable how just within 2 years they have completely collapsed. Completely collapsed.
he's a big Project 2025 or this Brennan Carr. So is it for power? Is it ass kissing? Does he just fucking suck? All of the above.
Okay, and then here's some great news. First, I want to put up a lie social from 3 days ago from Kanks. I'm getting amazing feedback on my lawsuit against the New York Times. The predominant feeling and sentiment is it's about time. The case was filed in the great state of Florida. The radical left media is working hard to destroy the USA. We are going to stop them at each and every level. President DJT. 3 days later, breaking news. A federal judge in Tampa has tossed out Donald Trump's $15 billion lawsuit against the New York Times, writing, the complaint is decidedly improper and impermissible. So here he is yet again losing in court. And I want to remind everybody, because it's been a really daunting week. It's been a really heavy week in this fascist regime, that every time he goes to court, unless it's his buddies, the Supreme Court. But most of the time when he goes to court where the judges aren't radicalized by Fox News, he loses his ass. He cannot legislate. He cannot take any of these ideas through Congress and legislate them because he loses. He is trying to set up the groundwork to rig the 2026 elections, in my opinion, with all of these overt military installations in cities, etc. And because he can't win again, because he's underwater everywhere. The Latinos for Trump effed around and found out it's like minus 40. His big tent party, all that's left are the white nationalists. That's all that remains. And so this guy, I just saw a clip before we sat down here of a farmer in Missouri. One of their Congress people came home to Missouri. And I'm paraphrasing here, but this farmer says, you know, Trump has ruined our industry. When are you going to go stand up to him instead of kissing his ass? And he said it in a real Southern accent like ours. This guy is wildly unpopular, but they flood the zone with all this shit to make you feel overwhelmed and either just ignore it or descend into nihilism where you just don't care anymore. So anyway, I just think it's hilarious that he is constantly filing lawsuits. He's constantly losing. I mean, 3 days later, this $15 billion bullshit lawsuit hit the bricks, said the federal judge in Florida.
Which, you know, it's bad if it's Florida. But here's the deal. He has not only gotten lawsuits kicked out time after time, he's had to pay attorney's fees. And then he got sanctioned. He and Alina Habba, who will not leave the U.S. Attorney's Office in New Jersey, were sanctioned $1 million because of their unprecedented bullshit in a case. Let me just tell you, it is hard to get a judge to order sanctions because of bad behavior from a lawyer and client. I mean, it is not easy, particularly the feds. So, you know, it was fucking terrible.
Of course it was. Okay. And then some other breaking news out of today. Congress has voted to honor Charlie Kirk, to have a day for Charlie Kirk. One of the votes of interest to me that voted yes for this was one Democratic leader, Hakeem Jeffries. He voted yes for this. And I have just about had it up to my eyeballs with Hakeem Jeffries. I need for somebody to explain to me like I'm 5 years old how a Black man votes to honor an unrepentant racist that says the Civil Rights Act of 1964 should have never been passed, that says all of this racist stuff. You can just go listen to his podcast. People have been fired from their jobs for simply posting Charlie Kirk's racist words. I cannot for the life of me understand how he votes for that before he endorses Zoran Mamdani, unless it's because he has taken over $1 million from AIPAC and his good friend Benjamin Netanyahu has made 6 public statements that he has not killed Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, we know.
No other country has. So this is just Hakeem, your leadership is around 15 to 18%. You need to step aside and let somebody young and not beholden come in and fight this moment, because that was not it. It is okay to hold 2 things at one time. Real leadership in this moment would be to say, I oppose gun violence. I oppose political violence. I support free speech. I disagree vehemently with everything that Charlie Kirk said, but he was a human being. However, I am not going to vote to honor a racist who oppressed people, specifically Black people. And as the leader of the Democratic Party in Congress, a Black man, I just don't understand that.
I don't get it either. And you think about it, he wrote a strongly worded letter about the free speech violations. Like, the strongly worded letters are worthless. Let's get somebody, I'm telling you who I've been super impressed with lately, Robert Garcia.
Incredible.
Sent out subpoenas. He's like, Brennan Carr, you need your fat ass sitting right here with
which
your
tells me Robert Garcia is a gay man, which tells me bring back woke, bring back DEI. Bring it back. We need woke DEI involved in everything. White men screw everything up. Now, Hakeem Jeffries is a Black man, but I think he's beholden to a very powerful white man named Benjamin Netanyahu, who is kissing Donald Trump's ass left and right. And how that helps America is beyond me. But I want to leave you all with this. Molly Ploufkins, again, she's just getting all the praise from me. This image is from the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum. And this is super important that we read this. The early warning signs of fascism, powerful and continuing nationalism, disdain for human rights. Think about what they're doing with trans people right now, with immigrants right now. Identification of enemies as a unifying cause. Trans people, immigrants, Black people. Think about all the shit Charlie Kirk was saying. Supremacy of the military, rampant sexism, controlled mass media, obsession with national security, religion and government intertwined, corporate power protected. Think about the tech oligarchs giving Trump trophies all the time in the Oval Office. Labor power suppressed, disdain for intellectuals in the arts. Look no further than their attacks on universities. Obsession with crime and punishment, ding, ding, ding. Rampant cronyism and corruption, ding, 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 ding. And fraudulent elections.
Yeah,
that's the one that's waiting on us for 2026. So I want to say this loud, and I want to say this proud. We are anti-fascist. That poster is in a museum in the United States of America, because the United States of America's policy is to be anti-fascist. And so he is the outlier. All of these MAGA people are the outliers to this. The America that I've grown up in is anti-fascist. I remain anti-fascist. There is no headquarters for the anti-fascists. There are no dues that we pay. It was the way we were raised. It were the stories through history that we were taught. And I just absolutely think we are at a stunning time right now, but we all need to say it loudly and proudly. Real Americans, MAGA, are anti-fascist. That's all we have. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be all around for little news drops. Subscribe to our channel and buy our book. The link is right below in the show notes.